when we're live, we're going to start looking at the book of Jonah, which is so much fun. So stay tuned for all of that excitement tomorrow. But let's jump into the fourth reading of the Yom Kippur reading. And it begins Leviticus chapter 16, verse number 18. Here we go. This is still talking about the high priest, the Kohen Gadol, on Yom Kippur, holiest day of the year. So we have the holiest Jew, the holiest space, on the holiest day of the year. Holy of Holies, high priest, Yom Kippur. And he shall then go out to the altar that is before the Lord and effect atonement upon it. He shall take some of the bull's blood and some of the he-goat's blood and place it on the horns of the altar around. Basically, the altar had corners. Okay, the altar was a platform where the offerings were brought. The altar was essentially a large square, elevated platform that had a ramp leading up to it. So picture, I'm looking around, all I have is a prayer book here. I guess I'll have to do. Right? Imagine you have a platform with a ramp leading up to it. The Torah says no stairs. You don't build stairs up to the altar, but rather a ramp, which is also a good message. No big jumps, slow and steady progress up to that where you want to go in life. In general, spiritual activity, it's always good to take the slow and steady route. That way we ensure we get there. So you build a ramp up, and then there's a platform on top. The platform had at each corner an elevated little section or little corner. The corners were elevated, little protrusions coming out, and that's what we call here in Torah the horns of the altar. They weren't actually horns, just little elevated corner sections. Okay, so after the high priest goes into the Holy of Holies and sprinkles the blood in front of burns the incense, and then sprinkles the blood of the bull and the blood of the goat toward the direction of the Ark of the Covenant, he goes outside, sprinkles it toward the curtain, goes outside of that again, and places it, not sprinkles, places it on the corners of the altar all around. Let's continue. He shall then sprinkle some of the blood upon it with his index finger 7 times, and he shall cleanse it and sanctify it of the defilements of the children of Israel. And it's interesting how the sprinkling was done. As we read on Yom Kippur, and I wish I had a way to show you the Machzor liturgy, the Yom Kippur prayers, but instead of, so if you were sprinkling something, right, you might be tempted to get some of it and do the old, I would call that the spritz technique. I don't know other way to say it, right? You dip your finger in something and you do the whole, it's like, you wash your hands for something and got you. Don't do that, by the way. That's crazy. Who does that? But I'm just saying, if you were going to do the Yosh Spritz, that's probably, Anyway, that's probably the technique that you would do. You would probably go like the old technique.
Whoever says hi to him or gives him attention, everything again. Okay, I want my attention now.
Okay, so here's the deal. That's how you would think. However, that's not how the priest did it. And in the Machzor, the prayer book on Yom Kippur, we actually clarify that that's not how it was done. How was it done? Rather, he dipped his finger in the blood, and then he went like that. It says like a whip, kind of like whoosh. Not whoosh. The only way I can do this is by sound effects. I'm sorry, not chow, but rather wapow. But no, not a flick, no flicking, just the single dip and the whip. It's the dip and the whip. You guys with me on that?
Don't we do that in Passover too? With the plagues.
With the plagues, yes. Chabad custom is actually that we don't dip in like that, but rather we spill the wine from the cup for all the plagues. But yeah, some people do the dip and the flick. But again, it wasn't a flick. It's not a flick. It's a whip. That's what it's called. Hey, Mark.
Hey.
Mark.
Yes.
We're spritzing you with holy water. I'm kidding. That's not at all what we're doing. It's not even a thing. So he would dip it in and go like that. So he would do it once up and then 7 times down. That looks like I'm wagging my finger at you, but I'm not. I'm just trying to show you the movement of the high priest. So he would do once upward and then 7 times downward. And he would count achat, achat v'achat, achat v'shtayim, achat v'sholosh, achat v'arba, achat v'chamesh, achat v'shesh, achat v'sheva. Which means 1 up, and then 1 and 1, 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 4, 1 and 5, 1 and 6, 1 and 7. So he would count the first one, he would say 1, and then for the up, and then for the downs, he would go 1 and 1. 1 meaning the first one up, plus 1, 1 plus 2, 1 plus 3, etc., just so you wouldn't lose count. Because otherwise, he might do 7, but needing to do 8. Are you with me on that? Anyway, just the counting technique. By the way, in the song yesterday, if you notice, if you heard the lyrics, he goes, achat, achat v'achat, achat v'shtayim. It's part of the song that I played for you yesterday from Isha Ribo. But not to bring that up again because we already heard it yesterday. Let's get back to our text inside. Okay, so that was the sprinkling 7 times. Remember, 7 times was down, but 1 time was up. Let's continue. And he shall finish effecting atonement for the holy, the tent of meeting, and the altar, and he shall bring the live he-goat. Okay, so after all of that was done, then, this is the key point of this verse, then he shall bring the live he-goat. Remember, there were 2 goats, 2 identical goats. These goats would play pranks on their teachers all the time. Be like, hey, did you do your homework? All of this, the identical twins, they always do that. Whatever. Yeah. No. So
the goat ate my homework. The goat ate my homework.
The goat ate my homework. The goat may have... the goat may have done my homework if it was a goat. I'm saying if it was a goat doing the homework, it would have been a goat. And the point is, there were 2 goats. One was LaShem, and one was LaZazel. One was sacrificed to God. That was already sacrificed. The second one was sent away, sent out to the barren wilderness called Azazel. And Azazel has an interesting reason why it's called Azazel. Either way, it was sent in a banished place, and really off the end of a cliff. If you want to know the real story, they would send it off the edge of a cliff. I don't write these things. I'm just reporting what it says. So you can ask questions, but I didn't come up with this. What's interesting is that when they drew the lots, I told you yesterday, they drew the lots. One was for this, one was for that. Which parsha? This is in Acharei Mot. Acharei in Leviticus. This is Leviticus chapter, 16 or 18? I forgot already. I'll tell you in a second. This is chapter 16. Yeah, Leviticus 16. Getting back. So here's the point. When they would designate which goat was for which, they would then tie a red string around the neck of one animal, which indicated that it's a sacrifice, and around the horns of the other animal, which indicated that it was for Azazel to be sent away. So now we get back to that second goat, the second he-goat. Okay, and Aaron, the high priest, shall lean both of his hands forcefully upon the live he-goat's head and confess upon it all the willful transgressions of the children of Israel, all the rebellions and all their unintentional sins. Basically, this was the moment where he said the confession upon the head of the goat, so to speak, and he shall place them on the he-goat's head, and then send it off to the desert with a timely man. A man with a good watch. No, a timely man, which would mean somebody who is getting it done quickly. The he-goat shall thus carry upon itself all their sins, the sins of the people, to a precipitous land, and he shall send off the he-goat into the desert. Now, it sounds like it's, very romantic end, where it's, like the end of a Western, it's fading into the sunset, galloping off. The he-goat gallops off. All right, listen, let's keep it like that. If that's how it sounds, then that's perfect. Let's keep it as that. All right, I don't want to mess up. And Aaron shall enter the tent of meeting and then remove the linen garments that he wore when he came into the holy, and there he shall store them away. Which means basically after this concludes pretty much the avodah, the specific service of atonement on Yom Kippur. After that, he would take off those garments, the white linen garments, and then put on the regular garments and finish up the service. And he shall immerse his flesh in a holy place and don his garments. He shall then go out and sacrifice his burnt offering and the people's burnt offering, and he shall effect atonement for himself and for the people. Okay, I just saw a chat thing go off. Let's see.
Ignore it.
Timely man is not in your Rashi.
He's there. Wrong person.
Okay. Rashi wasn't timely. I'm kidding. He was timely.
No, I looked at the wrong pasuk.
Okay, no worries. No worries. All right, fifth reading. Let's continue. Let's see what else the Torah reading has in store for us. And he shall cause the fat of the sin offering to go up in smoke upon the altar. So that was burnt upon the altar. And the person who sent off the he-goat to Azazel, right? Remember, that's the goat that was sent away, shall immerse his garments and immerse his flesh in water. And after this, he may come into the camp. And the sin offering bull and the sin offering bull and he-goat of the sin offering, both of whose blood was brought to effect atonement in the holy, he shall take outside the camp, and they shall burn in fire their hides, their flesh, and their waste. So you burn the rest of those animals other than what was sacrificed, etc. And the person who burns them shall immerse his garments and immerse his flesh in water. After this, he may come into the camp. That basically means going to the mikveh. And all of this, says the verse, shall be as an eternal statute for you in the 7th month, on the 10th of the month. That's the day of Yom Kippur, 10th of Tishrei. You shall afflict yourselves, and you shall not do any work, neither the native nor the stranger who dwells among you. This becomes the source for the 5 prohibitions of Yom Kippur. That phrase, afflict yourselves. Our sages say, what does it mean to afflict? It means no eating or drinking, no intimacy, no anointing oneself with oils, no bathing, and no leather footwear. Leather belts are fine, but no leather footwear. These are signs, 5 signs of affliction, all things that we do not do on the day of Yom Kippur. Because look, the verse says it's an eternal statute. You know what that means? That means even when there's no temple, and even when you cannot do this service, the sacrificial service that the high priest that we just read about, even then, it's still a holiday, it's still a special day. Yom Kippur, it's a day of affliction, no work, it's a holiday. For on this day he shall effect atonement for you, Day of Atonement. This is where it comes from, folks. He shall effect atonement for you to cleanse you before the Lord. You shall be cleansed from all your sins. The word is yechaper. Ki bayom hazeh yechaper alechem. On this day, Yom hazeh, this day yechaper. Yom yechaper, Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement. This is where the source is in the Torah for Yom Kippur. Okay, so that is the 5th reading. So what we learned in the 5th reading was essentially about the burning of the remains of the offerings and about the impurity and the mikveh that needs to be done after that for those that actually did that part of the service. And we learned about the eternal commemoration of Yom Kippur, which is done with essentially the affliction, with the 5 prohibitions that I mentioned a moment ago, and Day of Atonement. Okay, and 6th reading, finally, the last reading of Yom Kippur, at least in the morning service. We continue the theme. It is a Sabbath of rest for you, which means, by the way, one second, in the Hebrew it's better. Shabbat, Shabbaton. It's the Sabbath of all Sabbaths. Here it translates, it's a Sabbath of rest, but here's the spoiler alert, rest is Sabbath. So Sabbath of rest really means it's a Sabbath of Sabbaths for you, which means essentially that Yom Kippur has the same prohibitions as Shabbat, with additional prohibitions, of course, of the affliction prohibitions. So it's the same level, same sanctity as Shabbat, but even more. By the way, the rest of the Jewish holidays are not the same, because there's a few things that you can do on the holidays that you cannot do on Shabbat. For example, cooking. You can cook on a holiday, Jewish holiday, and you can even, you can cook on a holiday, and you can carry out in public domain without an Eruv. You can do those things on a Yom Tov, on a holiday. So this year, for example, 2nd day of Rosh Hashanah, 1st day was Shabbat, so it's Shabbos anyway, so you can't do the cooking. But 2nd day, in the morning, my son, Shaya, who is 9 years old, So, he just had his wait, don't judge. He just had his birthday recently, so he was 8.
Wow.
Thank you. He turned 9. He turned 9 at the end. His birthday is August 30th, so it's we're just a few weeks into his, almost a month, but I'm still within 30 days. Money back guarantee. Still 30 days. I still can get the age wrong. Still within that 30-day bubble. So, but I didn't get it wrong. I got it right. It just took me a second. So he's 9, and Sunday morning, right? Just this past Sunday morning. So he says to me, "Can I have eggs for breakfast?" And the answer was yes, and like not raw eggs, not like eggnog, right? It's not 'tis the season, right? It's yeah. So I was able to make scrambled eggs for him on Rosh Hashanah because it's a Yom Tif, and on Yom Tif we can cook and we can carry. Cook and carry. You can cook and then bring it over to a friend's house, pre-COVID. Your mileage may vary now. Be careful. Next. Yes? All good so far? Yes, go Donna, go ahead. Unmute yourself first. Don't forget.
Okay. So, so if Rosh Hashanah, if we afflict ourselves, I mean, Yom Kippur, yeah. Then why is it still considered a holiday?
Glad you asked. The affliction is only for the body, but it's not for the soul. In other words, and by the way, affliction is a little bit harsh. I would call it not paying so much attention to the body day. Although it's a longer phrase, but that's what I would say. Basically, all the stuff that we usually do to pamper our bodies, we got very important things to tend to. We have spiritual things. We're connecting with God right now. I'm not worrying about eating or drinking. I'm not worrying about how I look or how I say the anointing oils, the bathing thing. I'm not worried about the body, but the comfortable footwear, right? Although you can wear comfortable footwear, by the way, just not leather, which itself, maybe we'll speak about that maybe tomorrow in person, like why specifically leather footwear. You can wear Crocs, you can wear Uggs, maybe. I don't know about Uggs. One second, let me backtrack on that. Are Uggs leather? Are they?
Some are plastic. Some are plastic.
You can wear the synthetics. Get your Birkenstock. Birkenstocks, yes? Yes, buy stock in Birkenstock. I'm kidding, I just said stock. So Birkenstocks makes a synthetic version. Ask me how I know this, but don't ask me how I know this. I just happen to know this. Just saying, I may or may not know this to be a fact. I know this to be a fact, and those are absolutely fine. They're cut. So it's not about like you don't have to walk on like on nails. Afflict yourself. Get sleep on a bed of nails. Yom Kippur night. No, although, whatever. No, kidding. No, although. But just no leather footwear. Maybe tomorrow we'll speak about the significance of the leather footwear. But in general, the afflictions are all about the body. And really it's about us telling the body one day a year. The rest of the year, take care of the body. One day a year, it's like, you know what? You're not number one today. You're not number one. Every day we're running circles around the body. Every day. Oh, you're hungry? Oh, let me feed you. Oh, you're tired? Oh, take a nap. Oh, you're this? Let me do that. Every day. Running after the body. That which is not eternal. It's going to be, whatever. I don't want to get morbid, but seriously. And even the food we eat. Whatever. I don't want to get too gross. But like, how long does it stay around for anyway? I mean, seriously. And then like a few hours later, hungry again. So needy. One day a year we tell the body, give us a day. 26 hours, we'll get back to you. 26 hours, you'll be back, you're back in the game. But this day is all about soul. It's a day of complete neshama. It's a day of complete soul. Look, we're not meant to live our life 24/7. That's why Yom Kippur is not every day. I mean, otherwise it would be Yom Kippur every day. It's not. But one day a year, it's almost like the correction, right? It's like the extreme to get like totally plugged back in, so that as we get back to the body, hopefully it'll be with some sort of balance. Otherwise, if we never had a Yom Kippur, man, we would be way too body-centric. We wouldn't even be able to try to get some balance. So this is a day going to the other extreme to try to get some balance. So yes, it's called affliction, but it's not about harming the body. It's just not running after it. It's not tending to it for one day.
So that's also maybe one reason why it's the highest holiday, because it's all about the soul.
Yeah, by the way, if you know Kabbalah and Hasidic philosophy, the highest is always about the integration back down. So it's the holiest, but really the highest is about plugging it back into the real, to the next day. It's like Yom Kippur might be holy, but here's the real question. How did it impact, the day after or the week after? But you're right. On the level of spirituality, if you will, it's the most spiritual day. But it reminds me of the story about Abraham and the angels. I think I've told this before. When the angels came to visit Abraham after his circumcision, they said, where's your wife? And he said, in the tent. And the Kabbalists say, what were they asking? What was his answer? They were wondering, we heard about you. They were very spiritual, but we came to your house and you're offering us food. You're a chef. You're a host. You're running after us. Wash your feet. Can I get you food? A great host, but where's the spirituality? Where's your wife? Maybe she's the spiritual one. You're not going to get it from her either. Abraham was teaching the angels that in heaven to be spiritual means to be disconnected from the physical. On earth to be holy means that you plug it back in and that you elevate the materialism for a higher place, which is, I think, one of the differences between Jewish spirituality and other forms of spirituality, which are all about, other forms tend to be escape. It's about getting out of this, right? Getting away from the material, whereas Judaism, it's all about integrating it back in. Also getting out, but also getting back in. So one day a year, we get out, and the goal is so that when we get back in, that we're that much more centered. Okay, we're almost done with the last reading. We'll do a quick run to the end, and then we'll close it out for today. Okay, so we just did the first verse. Let's go on to 32. And the Kohen, who is anointed as the high priest, or who is invested to serve in his father's stead. So either the Kohen who is appointed high priest, or the son of the high priest who becomes the high priest upon the passing of the father, basically the new high priest, shall effect this atonement, and he shall don the linen garments, the holy garments. Once again, mentioning this mitzvah to wear the white linen garments. And he shall effect atonement upon the Holy of Holies, and he shall effect atonement upon the tent of meeting, and upon the altar, and he shall effect atonement upon the Kohanim, and upon all the people in the congregation. All this shall be as an eternal statute for you, to effect atonement upon the children of Israel for all their sins, once each year. Once a year. Day of Atonement. I like to call it the day of the Etch-a-Sketch. And he did as the Lord had commanded Moses. In other words, Aaron did as the Lord commanded Moses. As was commanded, so it was done back in the day by Aaron in the desert, with the Mishkan, with the tabernacle. That's how they observed Yom Kippur. Okay, so that takes us to the end of that's the reading on Yom Kippur. Hold on, let me just check something out for myself. The maftir, maybe. Let me see, hold on. Nope. Let's look at the Haftarah for Yom Kippur, see if it's of note here. Okay. Very cool. Let's do this very quickly. Not going to do a deep dive, just want to show you something that I think is kind of awesome. Okay, I'm sharing my screen with you one more time. The Haftarah. Remember, after the Torah reading, we read a Haftarah, which is like a mini reading from the book of the prophets, not from the 5 books of Moses. This is Isaiah 57, verse 14. And he shall say, pave, clear the way. Remove the obstacles from the way of my people. That's referring to the energy. Well, we read it on Yom Kippur because that's kind of the energy where we say that everything's going to get out of the way so that we can plug back in to our source. That's what God says. Pave, clear the way. For so said the high and exalted one, who dwells to eternity, and his name is holy. So says God, with the lofty and the holy ones I dwell, and with the crushed and humble in spirit. So God is not only hanging out with the tzaddikim, but also with us who are crushed and humble on Yom Kippur, on the Day of Atonement, who recognize our imperfections and are atoning for it and contrite about it. To revive the spirit of the humble and to revive the heart of the crushed. For I will not contend forever, neither will I be wroth to eternity when a spirit from before me humbles itself and souls which I have made. So this again evokes the idea of the humility, that we're the humble posture that we should have on Yom Kippur as we stand before God, and the fact that there's nothing that stands in the way. Clear the path, God says. Make way for my people, make way for that connection between us and God. So nothing stands in the way. We have that path open. we should take advantage of it. So remember, Yom Kippur starts next Sunday night with Kol Nidre. We're actually exploring some options. Unofficial, not yet determined, but options that allow for more space and maybe an outdoor option. I don't know. We're exploring all options right now to make it as friendly and accommodating and spacious and healthy as possible. We'll see. Otherwise, we might do multiple services, Kol Nidre, but stay tuned. I'm sure you'll get some emails about that coming from Chabad in Town. You can always stay present on the Facebook page. But in general, by the way, just so you know, shul-related, like synagogue-related stuff, usually comes from Chabad in Town. IJ is education-related, although there's sometimes a hybrid, crossover, but if it's shul or holiday-related, it's usually mostly on the Chabad side. So take a look for that communication. What else did I want to share with you? Okay, so the holiday starts Sunday night, goes into Monday, and concludes Monday night, 26 hours. The custom is also, I should mention, that we light a yahrzeit licht. We light a 24-hour candle, 26-hour candle. So get your candles. They have them at any Publix or Kroger or the Jewish stores, Kosher Gourmet, Spicy Peach. I'm sure you can get it at when you order today, your lunch. Don't forget to order a candle. I'm kidding. I don't know if they have, and do as you wish, but you might be able to do that as well. And again, we discussed about the prohibitions of Yom Kippur. We discussed about the candle. We discussed about the prayer and the services. And really the main thing is about connection. Day of Atonement can be split up to Day of At One Mint. It's a day in which we connect. So tomorrow, now that we've done the Torah reading, tomorrow we're going to start the book of Jonah, which, as I said yesterday, is a whale of a tale. It's I can't get enough of that joke. It's a wild story. It's really a wild story. It's incredible, and it holds so much depth and message for our lives and Yom Kippur as well. So join me then tomorrow. Remember, 12 o'clock in person or online, or if you want both, you could be there in person and watch it on your device. I won't judge, although I'll wonder why, but nonetheless, do as you wish. But we will be on Zoom and in person for those that wish. Lunch at noon. Order today. Call now. No, order today. Spicy Peach. Get your sandwich, get your soup, get your salad, get your sushi, whatever you want. Order it, pay for it, we'll pick it up. Yes, Max.
Will it be outside?
Yes, yeah. Outside. Outside in the back, under the same canopies where you guys were.
Rosh Hashanah. Okay.
Rosh Hashanah. Yeah, thank you, because I missed probably the most important detail. This is outside, and it's in the back. Go to the back of the building. I would park along the side, because once you get to the back, it's probably going to be clogged up. So just park. You'll walk down. We'll have tables spread out. So the goal is to get small tables so that one or two people could sit. Only two if you're, if that's your connection, right? If you're married or family or whatever it is. But otherwise, you can sit separately, and we'll have enough seating for everybody. And if not, we'll bring out more seating. We'll make it work. Don't worry about it. Everyone can sit as far or as close as they want. It'll be outdoors. The only thing I'm thinking is, I hope the weather stays warm enough where it's not a little bit chilly. If it is a little chilly, bring a sweater or a jacket or a coat or one of those furry things. I'm not talking about earmuffs. No, that's amateur. I'm about the full hat with the thing.
A fire pit.
Fire pit would actually be genius. That would be genius. Do we have a fire pit? I don't know if we have a fire pit. That's a great idea. Or those, they have those those stand-up heaters. Those are really cool. They have a restaurant.
Tomorrow might not be sunny, but next Wednesday, yes.
I hope it's sunny tomorrow. It's got to be sunny tomorrow. I actually checked this morning. I checked the weather this morning, I think.
Nice.
And it said to me that it spoke. I read that it's supposed to be 68 to 70 by noon tomorrow, which to me sounds decent. But if there's a cool breeze and it's in the shade, it could feel a little thing. So if you're coming tomorrow, bring a jacket, dress. You could always take off your layers. I feel like a Jewish mother again. Just don't forget to wear layers. Put on your mittens that clipped onto the jacket. Remember the clips? I had clips. I had the mittens.
Yeah.
The string with
Great idea.
Always. Otherwise you're lost forever. Anyway, bring boots. Dress warmly. You could always remove layers. Not a problem. But dress warmly if you're joining us. And if you know of anybody that might appreciate it, spread the word. Again, it'll be outdoors. You can wear a mask. While I'm teaching, I'll wear a mask. You can wear a mask while eating. I won't judge. I mean, I want to see that, but I'm not. That should be interesting. Unless you have a mask that has. No, I mean you could smuggle food in, and then eat, and then no one can see. Then you can you could eat with your mouth open, and no one's gonna know. That's actually brilliant. And whatever. Anyway, getting back to it. So invite people, let people know about it. I'm gonna post on Facebook now. First, for folks to learn about it, although people might wonder, like, what does that even mean? I'll try to be as clear as possible. Yes, Joy.
What about Peachy Parsha?
Peachy Parsha, I don't mind that. I need a design. I'm a big visual guy. Like, we need a design with it to really brand it as a thing. So I've been, like, trying to get some stuff up, and I haven't done it yet.
Put a mask on the peach.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Rabbi, I have a question about
Yes.
a Monday.
Yes.
So it has sanctuary service for Mincha at 5:15,
Right.
and then at Havdalah 8:02. I mean, what happens in those 3 hours? Is it a 3-hour service?
Have you ever seen the prayer books?
So,
It's massive, hundreds and hundreds of pages. So here's the deal. One thing is for sure: there's no mitzvah to get overwhelmed by the sheer volume of it. But with that being said, there's a lot of prayers. So here every day there are 3 services, 3 prayers: morning, afternoon, and evening. On Yom Kippur there are 5. I'm going to list them. We start off with Kol Nidre and Ma'ariv. So that's Sunday night. Sunday night service, Monday morning service, Monday early afternoon service, Monday Mincha service, which is called the Musaf, Monday Mincha service, and then finally the Ne'ilah closing service. So you have 5 services. So from 5:15 is basically Mincha Ne'ilah. Mincha service takes about an hour, and Ne'ilah also takes about an hour, with a bit of a sermon or inspirational thought in between. And we're just building in a little bit of time just to be sure. So that's kind of what it is. Those, by the way, the traditional service, at least right now it's looking like they're probably going to be indoors in this very sanctuary. By the way, with chairs a little bit distanced. Okay, maybe not as, I don't know if we've tape measured, 6 feet exactly, but a good 4 feet or so. Plus people move it together if they're sitting with somebody else, so that creates more space, between that grouping or whatever it is. Either way, bottom line is that main service, the traditional service, will be indoors. At least most of them will be indoors. Again, we're working on something maybe for Kol Nidre. And my service, the learner service, will be outside in the back under the canopy.
When will that be?
That's at 10 a.m. That's at 10 a.m. Monday.
Oh, on Monday.
Yeah, Monday 10 a.m.
Okay, so there you go.
Yeah. We'll definitely have an outdoor version.
In the afternoon?
Say it again?
Study in the afternoon?
Book of Jonah. Yeah, there's always a Book of Jonah study about an hour before Mincha, so probably like 4:30 or 4:15, led by Rabbi Schusterman. So I don't have confirmation on that. I mean, maybe it's on the website, but yeah, I imagine it's going to happen. Yeah. Mark, go ahead.
Yeah, quick question. Tomorrow, because I wanted to bring my Rashi with me.
Oh yeah,
Which
sure.
Parsha?
Tomorrow's going to be Book of Jonah. So look up your Book of Jonah. It's not 5 books of Moses.
Okay.
Yeah, Moses so last week. Bye guys. Bye Joy. We'll see you. Bye Max.
Joy.
Yeah, so that's it. Book of Jonah. I mean, there should be commentaries on it. I'm sure there's Rashi on it, but it's not going to be in your set of 5 books of Chumash. All right, see you all. Donna, we need to speak about date. I feel like we spoke about a date.
No.
At some point? No dates?
No.
Okay, let's communicate via email or text. Let's get a date on this.
Excellent.
What was I thinking?
I have some more information to send you too.
Oh, good. Okay, so then let's speak or let's communicate. Whatever, either way, or you can call me. The other thing is, maybe this is a good opportunity on Yom Kippur, because it's the day of the high priest, to promote the jewelry. For that, yeah, that might be a good option.
What did it look like? I never saw it.
Oh, I'll show you just a second.
Oh, it's gorgeous. What do you mean? Yeah, hold on. Donna's getting Donna's getting a version. But we're doing a new one, which is inspired by the high priest robe. Oh, no. Mark meant the old one. Mark meant the last one. But wait, there's more. Hold on. Ta-da! This is, everyone's got one.
Yeah, so Sandrine has the red energy. I have the green
Ready.
energy.
See that?
You need boots, Mark. You can wear one.
It's 2020.
Hearing one ear first. Yeah.
It's 2020 and we're in a pandemic. Do whatever you want. Seriously. Do absolutely whatever you want. No judgment at all. Anyway, no, it's fantastic. It's actually fantastic. It's gorgeous. It makes a great gift, right? So it's for you, for someone else. And we got this exciting kit coming up. It's a really cool kit. I'm very excited about it.
Very cool surprise.
For me also a surprise.
Well, yes. An email, I'll let you know.
I love that. Oh, I can't wait. All right, good. Fine, awesome. All right, we'll see you all. See you all tomorrow, either online or in person. Remember, no pressure. If you want to join online, totally fine. But if you want to join in person, we got our kickoff event. I'm going to be posting to Facebook in the next few minutes, so stay tuned for that. Don't forget to like and share that post, because that will be an opportunity to spread the word.
Can you send the link, because I'm not on Facebook, just so I share?
Yeah, I will send you the link to the. You mean the link to the post?
Text it to me.
Like the post link?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, me as well. I'm not Facebook either.
Wait, you are or not on Facebook?
No, I'm not. Not really.
Privacy concerns.
Wait, so then, why? So then, there's no point to share a Facebook link if you're not on Facebook.
To share the link.
I don't know.
Share with other people.
I don't know. I'm figuring stuff out here. So you're saying you'll send people the Facebook link through other ways. Got it. Okay. All right. Hold on. All right. I'm learning. I'm learning.
Are you gonna have something on your website?
Instagram is very hard to share.
I know. We got to get better on Instagram. Maybe you know what? Maybe I'll do an Instagram post. Maybe I'll have somebody do an Instagram post. So look, I will.
Could you send a regular link?
I don't have a link. There's nothing. I don't have anything. Nothing
Are you
exists.
gonna put something on your website?
1 second. Hold on. Time out. 1 second. Let me explain. I don't have an image. I don't have an event or anything up on the website. This is just something that we're going to do. So that's the basic idea. But I'll post on Facebook saying we're planning on doing this tomorrow. Here's the link to Spicy Peach. Here's the phone number. Call up, order, join us, blah blah blah. I'm going to write that up as just like a notification. But I don't have a website link to share because I don't have an event up. If we confirm a name and get something up on the website with a graphic, then I can create, a thing and then share that. But I don't have that. It's not going to happen today either. So just the best I can do is, first of all y'all know about it. If you want to share it, I can share text. I can share about it. The about version. Okay. Listen, let me start writing it. I'll sign off. I'll start writing it. And I'll try to get it over to you guys soon. All right? Take care. Have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.